Welcome to another fascinating lesson with Teacher G. Today, we'll dive into research topics. Has anyone here written a thesis or taught research for the first time? It's completely normal to face difficulties when doing something new. Do you want to overcome these difficulties? Continue watching to learn more effectively. In today's lesson, we will focus on the results and discussion section of a research paper. To effectively discuss this topic, I will present a sample research paper to clarify tips and tricks for creating this section. The research paper I will present is my own, titled Kalidad Kotobi as a learning instrument designed for active discussion, an interactive self-learning module in promoting students' academic performance and attitudes toward independent learning. The results and discussion section of a research paper can be found after the data collection process, which addresses the questions outlined in the statement of the problem, and they present the findings while providing a detailed analysis of their implications and significance in relation to the research questions and existing knowledge. Results present the data and findings of the research. It includes visual elements like tables and graphs to show what was discovered. On the other hand, discussion interprets the results, explains their significance, compares them with previous studies, and suggests future research directions. It is found right after the presentation of the results or findings. What should be included in the results and discussion sections? The roadmap is the research questions or the statement of the problem. We understand that these research questions are the heart of your study. Gathering data is crucial to address these questions effectively. Your first question should correspond to Table 1. This alignment ensures that your research questions and the data presentations are directly linked, providing a clear and cohesive structure to your study. So let's consider research question 1. What is the level of students' academic performance before and after the use of self-learning module via Kotobi Author? As mentioned earlier, the question must be reflected as Table 1 in the results and discussion section of your research paper, provided that there is no other table presented in your paper. In this case, you might notice that it starts with Table 2, since there was already a Table 1 in the paper. The table should be formatted as follows. Table 2, level of students' academic performance before and after the use of the self-learning module via Kotobi Author. As you can see, the question has been rephrased into a statement form, and the words are in capital letters since they serve as the title of the table. In this study, the researcher was required to gather the grades of students before and after the implementation of the ebook interactive module, specifically the Kotobi author, to answer research question 1. The data were presented according to the range intervals of the students' grades who were exposed to printed materials and the e-module. The researchers simply counted how many participants belonged to a certain grade interval and recorded it in the frequency column. The percentage column serves to provide a standardized representation of the data, allowing for a clearer comparison of different categories or variables within the study. It helps visualize the distribution or proportion of each category relative to the total, aiding in the interpretation of the findings and facilitating comprehension for the reader. A first time researcher may ask, how do I compute the percentage? It's quite simple. Just divide the frequency of a certain variable by the total number of participants and multiply it by 100. For example, let's take the satisfactory level of performance. 11 participants received this grade out of 32. Then the calculation would be 11 divided by 32 multiplied by 100, giving us a value of 34.37%. Now, let's delve into interpreting these results as we enter the discussion section. There are no standard steps for completing this part of our study, but there are certainly tips and tricks to guide researchers through it. One crucial point to remember in this section is to avoid simply restating and explaining the numbers presented in the tables. Doing so would only result in redundant information. First, carefully examine the data presented in the table. Look for patterns or significant scores that can offer insights into the current study. For instance, does the absence of participants receiving grades between 74 to 79 hold any significant insight? Certainly there is. So let us start the discussion like this. Table 2 reveals that none of the students received a grade between 74 to 79%, whether using printed modules or the Kotobi Author ebook module. Let's remember that the variables being compared here are the use of printed modules conducted before the implementation and the use of Kotobi Author ebook module. After highlighting the result that no one got the grades from 74 to 79, what might be the reason of these findings? To find the reason requires the researcher to think deeper and analyze critically. In this example, this implies that both self-learning modules had contributed to the retention of learning of the students. For the third sentence of your discussion, you need to compare your results with other authors you have similar studies, whether they are opposing or consistent. Comparing your results with similar studies by other authors is crucial because it helps validate your findings and provides valuable context. If your results are consistent with previous research, it adds credibility to your study. On the other hand, if they differ, it offers insights into potential factors influencing outcomes. By understanding these differences, you can contribute to the broader discussion with your field and identify areas for further investigation. Ultimately, comparing results with other studies enriches your research and enhances the depth of your discussion. So, in our study, this result is consistent with the findings of Baring and Beramis' study from 2022, so who reported that both printed and electronic modules do help students perform better. We've only scratched the surface of our discussion with one finding, yet the table holds many more insights crucial to our study. Let's further explore these insights. Does the outstanding level of performance catch your attention? Let's delve deeper into this aspect by comparing the number of students before and after utilizing Kotobi's author. Can you sense the significance? Let's continue our discussion by incorporating another paragraph into our analysis. Beginning with the observation from the table, initially, 13 students accounting for 40.63 of those exposed to printed modules achieve a grade of 90%. However, after the introduction of Kotobi Author, this figure surged to 50%. This shift is noteworthy as it underscores the impact of Kotobi Author on enhancing students' performance. The increase in the percentage of students reaching exceptional grades suggests that the interactive nature and instructional design of Kotobi Author may effectively elevate academic achievement. This finding is consonant to the study of Ilianto 2022, who found that the ebook had a beneficial effect on students, particularly because of activities and presentations that increased their thinking and helped them learn new things. The ebook encouraged their creativity and critical thinking. Thank you. I'm glad I could assist you with writing the results and discussion section of your research paper. If you ever need assistance or have more questions in the future, don't hesitate to reach out. Best of luck with your research and keep up the great work.